Hate is the road that leads to destruction. Oh yeah, the road to righteousness is narrow.
Gorilla Gate going 10.8. Introducing the CZ P-01 compact 9mm pistol. Before I continue with the rest of the video, let me make a disclaimer to all the gun snobs out there that do not take me seriously. This is just my perspective of things and what I'm doing personally. It's my own subjective preference of choosing this firearm. Like I said, don't take me seriously. Okay, with that said, let's continue. Well, after the sale of my 245s, I managed to get 2 subcompact 9mm for a concealed carry. That's one of them right there, the CZ Rami 2075, and I brought a CM9, a car CM9, so that's working out nicely, especially in the summertime. The Rami over there, yeah, it's okay for the summer, but it's really better for the fall, spring, and winter. So I'm in the market to buy me either a full size or medium size 9mm. And here I wrote this wish list some time ago, early in the year, around January. And Frog Lube, I got that. I'm still looking for a pressure cooker. But anyway, under the firearms there, I was looking for a Glock 17. Even though I stink with them, I was going to get it just for its reliability and ease of parts and accessories galore. But then I was like, you know, I can't really shoot a Glock. I mean, I could hit the side of a barn and everything, but I am not very proficient with it. I mean, the accuracy is not there with the Glock for some reason. I think the sights just screw my eyes way out. So I started looking around, and I went to a gun range and shot their CZ Phantom. And I was dead on with that, and I was set on getting that, but that was just too big for concealed carry. I mean, I wanted a combat sidearm, but not something too big where I can't really pack it. I mean, you could pack any firearms, that's true, but I want something with a little bit more discreet concealability, you know, like a officer's model firearm or something like that. So I'm really beginning to be a CZ fanboy. I mean, I just love the way they shoot, the way they look. I like the hammer fired feature of it, the double action to single action, the all metal construction. It just appeals to me. And after shooting the Phantom, I was just dead on every time with that thing. So they had a CZ P-01 in there. So I started shooting that, and I was dead on with that as well. So after scratching out the Glock 17, scratch out the CZ Phantom, I settled on the CZ P-01. And this is it. There are better reviews than this, so I'm not really going to get into the nitty-gritty of it and stuff like that. I'm just going to, I guess, point out what I don't like about it. What I like about it is obvious, but just the downsides of it, I guess, you know, something different in these gun videos that we see all over YouTube. So I'm just going to try to trash it, even though I like it. Let's see what happens. So I managed to pack this pistol for about a couple of days out in the real world. I took a road trip down to San Diego, so that was like a good 18-hour round trip on the same day. Different story, personal problems, not my own, but somebody else who I'm helping out. But anyway, I managed to pack it down there with me using this out of the waistband holster here, cheapo eBay Tagua leather thing, and it's working okay for me. I mean, I just wanted something on the outside, so I've been packing it inside around the property. And as you could tell, it's printing just a little bit with this t-shirt there. It's right here. And it's 1.4 inches or 1.3 something inches thick, so it is a thick gun. And if you're slim, like myself here, it's going to make your hip look like you have dysplasia or something like that. You know, displaced hip or something. I mean, you're just going to kick out like that, or that's what it would appear. At least with me, that's what I think. But it does okay. I mean, with a sweater or bigger garment, you could conceal it okay. no big deal, and you have yourself a nice compact to full-size firearm to pack. So let me clear it because I was carrying this all day today. And the action is pretty smooth. I mean, I treated this weapon with frog lube, and it's like glass on glass with grease in between. It's just nice and smooth. Before it was you know, a little gritty with the factory lubricants and stuff like that, but it's doing okay. This particular model, the CZ P-01, it's decocker, no safety. A compromise for me is that the frame itself is an alloy. It's not steel. So if you look closely right there at this spot right there, there's a little nick. So that's after maybe a week and a half of packing it out there. I already got a nick there. So the coating, the polycoat coating on the frame will chip a bit. On my Rami, which was older and I've had it for a little bit longer, you can see a little showing a little bit metal there, a little bit metal there, and on the beaver tail there is showing some wear. And I carry this and my car alternating 1 week to the other, except for the summertime where the car is concealing a little bit better under a t-shirt. But yeah, this little guy here, haven't had it for 7 months yet, and it's showing some wear as far as the coating on the frame itself, because this frame is also alloy, but the coating on the steel is doing okay. No chips, no nothing, no wear. It's holding its form, along with the P-01 as well. Same thing, but I really don't care too much about it, because these two weapons are going to be everyday use beater uppers. You know, taking it out concealed every day. So if I was concerned about the looks and nicking, then I shouldn't pack anything at all then, because it's going to happen. And I'm not going to feel too bad if these weapons get kind of, you know, used as far as wear and tear and stuff like that. That's why I sold my 45s, because they were safe queens, and I would hate to nick those because they were pretty expensive, for my blood at least. Another turn off about this weapon as well, for some of you guys, might be that it's a bit too thick. It's about 1.3 something inches thick, thicker than a Glock 17, Glock 19. But it's doable. You can still conceal this pretty well under your clothing. The size and dimensions is between a Glock 19 and a Glock 17. One part of the gun will be longer than the other, and this, that, the other. So in comparison to a Glock 19, this one holds 14 rounds. The Glock 19 holds 15. The length is 7.2. On the Glock is 6.85. The barrel length on this is 3.8. On the Glock 19 is 4.02. The height is 5.03. The height on the Glock 19 is 5. The width of this is 1.38. The width of a Glock 19 is 1.18. And the weight of this is 1.75 empty pounds. And on the Glock 19 is 1.31. So it's a half a pound heavier than a Glock 19, but I kind of like that. I like a good feeling of a good sturdy metal gun, just for controllability or what have you. Now this is considered a compact pistol compared to the CZ75, the granddad of all the CZ line out there for 9 mils. And for me, the length will be shorter on the barrel, of course, and also on the grip. But for my small to medium sized hands, it's just a perfect fit for me. Just perfect. It kind of looks somewhat customized for my hands, and that's one thing that I love about this pistol. So the CZ P-01 pretty much fills my desire to have a combat sidearm. The size, it looks like it's custom made for myself. It's got sufficient firepower, 14 rounds standard capacity for this pistol, and 1 in the pipe. All metal. I wanted an all metal pistol. hammered fired. For some reason I just like that. And one thing that I like, one thing that appeals to me is it's a sexy ass gun. Look at it. I mean, the scallop ejection port there, I mean, the looks of it is just outstanding. And this gun is not too expensive. I mean, it's in the mid 450s in free states, and here in California, if you shop around some, you could buy it for around 450, no, not 450, 550, around that range. I had traveled 2 hours out of my home base here to purchase this at that price. The gun stores around me, they were out of them, or didn't really stock them, but then they wanted like 6 something for it if you order it, and I was lucky enough to find it somewhere on display. And this is only a year old, manufactured in year 2011. But take a look at the frame here, and that's one tacky item that I don't like about this pistol is CZ placed a United States national stock number on to the pistol itself to kind of tout their bragging points that this pistol here is NATO certified. There are other firearms as well that are NATO accepted. The Glock 17 is one of them. The Glock 19, I believe Sig Sauer, yeah, Sig Sauer for sure, and the M9, of course, Beretta. But these guys, for some reason, they just want to tout that up and down, that this is NATO certified. And I got to admit, the sales pitch sold me on it, on that fact alone. Other than I enjoy shooting this, it is tough enough for combat and for the Czech National Police. I guess this is what replaced their firearms for a little bit there. I don't know what they're using now, but either way, I love this pistol. It shoots so good. I mean, it's so comfortable too. One warning: if you're on the fence about buying this or checking it out, don't pick it up, because it is so comfortable to hold and wield and shoot that you're just going to buy it. And that's one of the biggest thing with CZ, I guess, is their ergonomics. I mean, it's just fabulous. And this pistol here, it will not set you wrong as far as ergonomics. The pointability is just fantastic on it. You point and you're going to hit the general location that you're pointing at with sufficient accuracy. It's just real comfortable to hold and shoot. I could spend all day shooting this plinking if I had the money. Like I said, this only comes in a decocker version, in which after packing for a little bit, I kind of prefer. I don't use the safety at all in my other pistols at all. I just have it ready to go with the double action setup with one in a pipe, and that's the same configuration that I have packing with this, except if I'm in a neighborhood that's not so great or whatever. As a precaution, I have it at half cock. Another downside to this pistol is there's not much accessories, aftermarkets, or holsters out there. I have to use generic holsters. Currently I'm using the Nate Square tactical holster here, which is so comfortable that it doesn't matter. I just use this. This was my first choice anyway, and fits in there just right, nice and snug, and it won't go nowhere. This particular Nate Square tactical was purchased and sized for my CZ Rami. So the pistol here, I have to get a bigger size for it, but I don't think I'm going to do that, because it's just exposing a little bit on the handle here, on the grip, and that's good enough for me, and it's working. So I'm going to be a cheap ass and stick with the Nate Square originally for my Rami. But yeah, that's the downside. There's not much holsters out there because the dust cover up here, it's made for an M3 rail there for a light or laser. So for home defense, I could put a light on this if I wanted to, which I probably will sometime down the road. Another downside to this is the magazines are freaking expensive. If you get the factory CZ magazine, this 10 rounder here would cost you average $40. They're 17 rounders, $40. They're 14 rounders that should be with this pistol here. I'm in California, so I'm neutered down to 10 rounds, $40. But they do sell aftermarket mech guard magazines that I hear that are pretty good. And they average around $17 to $20 per magazine, so it's half the price of a regular CZ magazine. So this magazine is a neutered 10-round magazine that came with the pistol. They gave me 2 of these. And for California, the maximum capacity allowed according to law is 10 rounds. So that fits in there pretty nice, and it's fitted and everything, and it's pretty good despite the 10 rounders. And look at the gaudy block in the bottom there. I can't do nothing with this as far as expanding it or anything. I'm stuck. But they sell rebuild kits, and I have a couple here. This here is actually, this one right here is actually a CZ factory 14 rounder. For all you law enforcement guys, it's not assembled, so I'm not breaking the law. There's no follower there. That's just the bottom plate. So for demonstration purposes, let's see how that looks. 14 rounder. Oops. It looks pretty good there, and it feels good. And that's what truly belongs, and what it was engineered to have is that 14 round magazine. So take this magazine out, and here I have a CZ75 16 round magazine, Mech-Gar. Stick that in there, and that's how much it sticks out from the bottom there. I could get the CZ P-01 sort of butt plate that would sort of put a little plastic spacer there that'll make it look like one piece. I haven't got it yet because they're out of stock, but this magazine would also work in this pistol here. Haven't tried it yet because I have to block it with 10 rounds. And the reason why I'm buying the 17 round magazines, because 1, they're cheaper, rebuild kits. 2, if I go to another state to have fun with some buddies or whatever, I could convert it back to its full capacity, 16 rounders, and go and have some fun. And then when I come back to California, I just have to disassemble it and then permanently put the block in there as before. In another video, I'll cover that when I get to it. Another contributing factor for me to get the CZ P-01 is interchangeability of the magazine with my CZ Rami. So here's the CZ Rami, and it holds this 10 round magazine here, but this is too short to fit in the P-01. But here I have the neutered 10 round magazine that fits the P-01, and it's functional in this weapon here. Here's the 14 round magazine, factory magazine. Fits the CZ Rami just okay. Gives you a little bit more grip in the bottom there. And here's a CZ75 16 round magazine. Same thing. So I got more firepower that way between 2 pistols. So for a self-reliance kind of guy like myself, interchangeability of magazine and consolidation, it's working just right. So far through this weapon, I put 200 rounds through it, just regular 115 grain full metal jacket. I didn't go through the rest of the grains and type of ammo, P+ or nothing like that, because I'm too cheap. But it fired without a hitch. It fired each and every single time. It was very reliable. It was very accurate for a compact pistol. From 30 yards, I was able to get it at center mass pretty good, and I was just farting around out in the range. So the accuracy on this is really good, and I'm happy about that. So this here will definitely fit the bill for a combat sidearm for myself. I mean, for some of you guys out there, maybe you know you need something more, but for me, I'm not going out there into combat. I just want something with the combat reliability aspect of it. I'm still going to be a gray man, concealed carrying out there, or home defense. Like I said, I'm not going to assault or none of that nonsense. This is just self-defense, pure and simple. Given a different perspective, a different idea than a lot of the videos out there. because this is pretty unusual of a model out there. There's not many of them out there. There's only a handful of videos, real good videos out there, but CZ is catching on as far as a make here in the United States, and I'm sold. I mean, 2 years ago I would have been like, what, CZ, forget that, but hey, you live and learn, and you kind of find yourself in what you need as far as a firearm, and this totally fills the bill. So this is turning out to be a good 9mm for me. Inexpensive. I could beat this up, abuse it. It's got the reputation of the CZ line as far as a CZ75 and all those models. It's doing great in the range for me after 200 rounds. Really comfortable to shoot. I mean, the ergonomics is just outstanding on this. It's a sexy ass gun for sure. I mean, just look at the lines, rubber grips, the curves on it that just molds to your hand pretty well, the comfortable beaver tail, you name it, light accessory in the bottom there. It's just a great little pistol, and I'm glad that I sold those two 45s to get this, and some of the other firearms as well. It's the best thing I've done. There you have it, the CZ P-01. Gorilla Geek going 10-10.
Ballistic affair, tell you my brother. Ballistic affair, ballistic affair, tell you my sister. Ballistic affair.